Top 10 best countries for digital nomad visas in 2025. If you work remotely and dream of moving abroad, this video is specifically for you. Hello, I'm Alina Kaba, an expert in immigration to Spain and other countries. My company DreamLife helps dreamers from all over the world relocate and create their dream life in a new place. Stay until the end of the video to find out about the winner and the latest changes in requirements. Don't forget, please, to subscribe to the channel to learn the latest news of relocation. And now, let's go! Twenty 2025 has become a real boom for digital nomad visas. Today we have 45 million of people who are having remote work and are moving to different countries and moving to live abroad. So it means that every day appear new country that say, hey, you can apply for digital nomad visa here and you can live here. Why? Because a lot of countries, they wanna have little piece of your taxes, and a lot of countries, they wanna have digital nomads living there. Why? Because they're bringing families, they're bringing taxes, they are paying and bringing to the economy, no? So why not? What is interesting, of course, you don't need to apply for 73 countries. You need to know which are the best countries to apply. So today I made top 10 the best countries where you can obtain digital nomad visas. What is important to know, the digital nomad visa are made for the people who have in remote work but they wanna live abroad. For example, you are working in India but you wanna live in US, or maybe you are working in UK but you wanna live in Spain. So what you can do, you can still work for your country but you can live in another country and you can move there with your family. So let's not lose the time and I will tell you all about our top 10. Of course, you can ask me, Alina, but why I need to apply for digital nomad visa if I can live in my country? Of course, you can live in your country, but if you wanna move and if you wanna taste another country, what you can do, you can obtain long-term visa and not apply every time for short-term visa. So what you can do, you can still work where you're working, but you can live in another fresh place. What I like about digital nomad visa, like my 5 advantages in 2025. First of all, it's simple in obtaining. So actually digital nomad visa, it's really easy to apply. It's even easier than student visa or investment visa or work visa, of course. Digital nomad visa have a lot of requirements, but not so much, okay? Second, family relocation. You can relocate family with you. So not only you can move if you work remotely, your family can move with you, your wife, your husband, your kids, okay? Third, tax benefits. If you will move abroad to live in another country, you will not pay taxes in your country and you will pay smaller taxes in new country, because a lot of countries, they have special, let's say, limited edition of taxes for digital nomads, okay, for non-residents. Next, access to healthcare and education. So actually for the country you will be like a resident. So yeah, you are foreigner but you have all the rights as a resident. So your kids can go to the local school, you can go to the local hospital, so you can use all the infrastructure for your needs. Okay, and fifth, it's path to citizenship and permanent residency, and it's actually amazing because if you want to live short term, you can live short term. If you want to live long term, you can live long term. But if you want to stay and stay for longer, you can do it and with all of your family. So that's why I like digital nomad visa so much. So my top 10 countries. On the 10th place we have Cyprus. So why Cyprus on the 10th place? Because we know that Cyprus, it's amazing weather, they have digital nomad visa already 4 years, you can apply for this visa, you can live there, you can eat amazing food, but the problem is that they have quotas, okay? So actually they have only 500 limited spots for applying. So only 500 digital nomads every year can obtain digital nomad visa in Cyprus. So the problem is that you kind of never know how many people already got. No, so you can apply all the documents, you can wait, but maybe you will be like 501 and they will say no for you. Okay, but anyway, if you will be lucky, what you need to do, you need to show that you have $3,500 salary per month. You need to show that you have, of course, remote work, and you can bring your family with you. Okay, and you can obtain the visa for 1 year. Then you can prolong it. In critical restrictions, digital nomads cannot leave country for more than 3 months. So you need to stay and you need to live in Cyprus. So it's kind of small details, but important one. So on the 10th place, what we have? Cyprus. Place number 9, Malta. Guys, you can obtain Digital Nomad Visa in Malta. What I like here, that you can bring family with you. You need to show that you have the salary the same like for the Cyprus, $3,500 per month. So you can obtain this visa for 1 year and then you can prolong it maximum till 4 years. To renew residence permit, applicant must spend at least 5 months per year in Malta. Okay, so it's interesting because, you know, every country asking you to stay in the country different period of time. So some countries, they say you can live here or maybe you can move around, and other countries say no, you need to live here most of the time, and another countries, they say okay, half year there, half year here. Okay, so Malta, exactly, they're asking for you to be in Malta at least 5 months per year. 8th place, United Arab Emirates. Guys, you can obtain Digital Nomad Visa with the program Remote Work from Dubai. What you need to have to obtain it? Of course, the main is remote work with the salary, the same amount of money, $3,500 per month. Duration, you will obtain 1 year visa, and you can obtain Emirates ID, so you will have all the residence right as any resident in Emirates, and you will pay 0 income tax. So that's why I put Emirates on the 8th place, because it's 0 income tax. It's amazing, and a lot of young people, what they decide, if they have remote work, they just come to Dubai, they just work and live there, they don't pay taxes, they save all money, and then they will decide where they will spend the savings, because a lot of them, they decide to live first of all in Dubai and then move somewhere else, maybe in Europe or Latin America. So it's interesting to have the spot in your mind, because 0 taxes is 0 taxes. On the 7th place for Digital Nomad Visa, we have Greece. If you want to obtain Digital Nomad Visa, you definitely need to check Greece, because they have really amazing condition for digital nomads. First of all, you need to have the same salary as previous country, $3,500 per month, and you need to add additionally little bit of money for your family members. So if you're bringing with you your spouse, you need to add 20%, so $700 more per month. If you are bringing your child, you need to add 15%, so $525. So, for example, for family of 3, total required income is $4,725 per month. Okay? What is good here, that you will obtain 2 years visa. So that's why Greece on the 7th place, because it's not 1 year and you need to prolong it again. It's 2 years and then you can prolong it for 2 years. I always say the same, that I think that bureaucracy is so hard that I hope that you will meet these processes in your life not often. Okay, so of course it's always better to obtain visa for 2 years than for 1, no? Because you need to kind of every year be stressed, but 2 years is at least it's a longer period, you know. So in 4 years you need to prolong visa only twice, but imagine in another country where you need to prolong it every year, you will gather your documents and beat the bureaucracy 4 times in 4 years. It's kind of too much, you know. So that's why I love Greece, because it's only twice per 4 years. Okay, what it's about taxes? In Greece we have progressive scale, so you need to pay from 9% to 44%. And what is interesting here, that in Greece, actually the local salary is really low, and minimum wage is really low. So For Greece, $3,000, it's a lot of money. So it means that if you will obtain this salary in Greece, maybe you will pay like the highest rate of taxes. So it's kind of maybe 30%, 40%. So please be really conscious about taxes. And I always suggest to all my digital nomads to obtain the tax consultation before obtaining the visa, because first of all you need to understand how much you get and how much you will have after taxes in the new country, because the idea is to work hard, to obtain a lot and not to lose much. On the 6th place we have Italy. Guys, if you want to move to Europe, of course you need to check on Italy, because Italy, it's not only pizza, pasta, it's amazing culture, it's beautiful people, and of course it just amazing place to be, an amazing place to live. So of course a lot of digital nomads, when they have remote work, they're thinking about Italy. So what about Italy? First of all, you need to show that you have a salary 2,700 euro per month, and it's better to show additional savings on your bank account, at least 30,000 euro. Then you can add your family, you will obtain visa for 1 year, and it's really important to show that you have higher education or you have experience in the job which you are doing today. Okay, so it's really important to kind of show to Italy not only your salary, your remote work, but your experience. And what I like about Italy, you can prolong your visa, you can obtain permanent residency, and then you can obtain citizenship. So a lot of digital nomad visas in a lot of countries, they're kind of not stable, you know, you can stay, but one day you need to leave. But what I like about Italy, you can prolong your visa and you can actually stay and be a citizen and actually become Italian. On the 5th place we have Bulgaria. Guys, if you wanna move to a European country, for sure you need to check Sofia, because the capital of Bulgaria lately, it's kind of center and magnet for digital nomads. Why? Because we know that this country is really cheap to live, this country is really affordable, and a lot of people are thinking about this destination. So what we know so far? First of all, that you need to show that you have salary at least 23,000 euro per year, 23,000 euro per year. So it's kind of a little bit less than 2,000 per month. Okay. Then what I like about Bulgaria, that you need to pay only fixed 10% tax rate, fixed, not less, not more. And of course, you have access to Schengen Don. And what is good, you can bring your family with you. So actually, Bulgaria just launched this digital nomad freelancer program. And I think a lot of people will check on this country during this year. So that's why I put in on the 5th place exact this option. Number 4. Estonia. Of course, how we can check all the best countries for digital nomad visa and don't talk about Estonia. We know that Estonia is really digital country, and we know that of course Estonia is really welcoming for IT people, for freelancers, for remote workers, and of course it's really important to check all details. So Estonia is the same as Cyprus, as Malta, as Greece, asking for you to have 3,500 euro salary per month. Additionally, you need to show that you have 700 more for each family member. So 700 for spouse, 700 for kid, okay? And you will obtain visa for 12 months, for 1 year. Then you can prolong it for 1 more year. And Estonia saying only 2 years you can stay max. Okay, what I like about Estonia, that you can apply for digital nomad visa totally online. It's really convenient, actually. You don't need to go to the consulate. Everything is really digital. And of course, they have year residency program. You can become a digital resident. You have access to Schengen area. They have progressive taxation from 14% to 31%. And they processing all the papers really fast, only from 2 to 4 weeks. So kind of in 1 month, you will obtain your digital nomad visa. So all the processes really fast, really transparent, really simple, really digital. So that's why Estonia on the 4th place. On the third place, we have Croatia. So you can ask for Digital Nomad Visa in Croatia and you can obtain it for 1 year and a half. For 18 months, you can obtain first visa and then you can prolong it for 18 months more. So in total, you can live and work remotely in Croatia for 3 years. Here you need to show a little bit less than classical $3,500. You need to show 3,295 euro per person per month. Okay, so for each family members you need to add 10%. So main applicant 3,300 euro per month, and then for each family member you need to add 10%. So you need to add more 330 euro, okay, for each. What is important that after visa expires, new application can be submitted no earlier than 6 months after the first visa ends. So actually it's really interesting detail because the logic is you are living and working 18 months, then you need to leave for 6 months, then you can return and you can apply again. I don't know why they make like this, but you need to keep it in mind. And what I like about Croatia, that they have unique tax advantage. Digital nomads in Croatia are completely exempt from income tax on remote work income, even if they spend more than 183 days per year. So that's why Croatia on the third place. Because guys, the country is giving you 0% income tax and it's not Emirates, you know? So a lot of people, they don't know that they can have these really amazing tax advantages in Europe. So you definitely need to check on Croatia if you're thinking about tax advantages, but you still want to stay in Europe. On the second place, we have Portugal. Of course, Portugal, because we know that Portugal is almost leading in the quantity of digital nomad people who already moved to the country, but not leading because the leader, I will tell you soon the name, the first place of my rating, but Portugal is still amazing country with beautiful ocean, with amazing people, with amazing language, with interesting culture, and a lot of people are choosing Portugal, of course, because of prices too, because we know that Portugal is really affordable. I will not say word cheap, because word cheap it's better to use for Asian countries, and a lot of Asian countries they're given amazing digital nomad visa program as Thailand, as for example Indonesia, and even Japan is opening now digital nomad visa program. But we know that still Portugal is really famous and really popular among of digital nomads. Why? Because for Portugal you need to show that you have the same almost 3,500 euro per month salary. You can show that you have savings. You can obtain some tax benefits, but actually not so good as before, because before they are given 10% flat tax rate. Now it's 20%, but still 20% it's not so much if we will compare with different European countries. And of course a lot of nomads, they are living in Lisbon, in Madeira, in Porto, in Algarve, in Cascais. And in Portugal you can obtain 2 visa types, or short term up to 1 year without residence permit rights, and long term you can obtain for 2 years plus extension for 3 years. And of course you can bring with you your family. So actually Digital Nomad Visa for Portugal is just a really amazing program for remote workers. And if you are checking European countries, please check Portugal. And the first place, of course, it's Spain. It's not because I'm living in Spain and I'm working with Spain and I'm in love with Spain. No, it's because the most amount of digital nomads from this planet are living in Spain today. Why? Because Spain actually totally won in the competition of Digital Nomads program. Because I will explain you a little bit more deeper the question of Digital Nomad Visa. A lot of countries, they're inventing this visa because they want to have digital workers living here in their countries, no? So conditions of every Digital Nomad visas, they're kind of a little bit different. So Spain decided to make kind of perfect condition. Why? Because first of all, Spain is the only one country where you will obtain Digital Nomad Visa for 3 years. Not for 1, not for 2, 3 years. So it's amazing. You don't need to apply every year. Just from the first application, you will obtain visa for 3 years. It's amazing. Then, Spain is the only one country that are saying you can work a little bit here and obtain 20% of your income from the Spanish clients. So actually it's interesting. You can obtain 80% of your income from abroad, but 20% you can obtain from here. So actually 20% is amazing because it's enough for you to actually check the market, check the clients, to understand the vibe, to understand maybe you want to switch your digital nomad visa to local work visa because you like to work for local clients. So you can kind of check the environment and continue here. So it's amazing because you can change your digital nomad visa to another visas during these 3 years. So you don't need to, you are not obligated to work only for this employer or to be only on this visa. You can change in any moment, and I think it's really beautiful. Then what I like about Spanish digital nomad program, that you can bring with you your family, of course, but your family member, for example, your wife or your husband, will have the right to work in Spain. So you will have the right to work only remotely for another country, but your health will have the right to work for Spain. So it's amazing because your family are moving here, and it's not like one person is working and another person is sitting on sofa. No. Another person, another family member can work here too, and it's the same for the kids. So for example, if you're bringing with you kids that are 18 years old or 19 years old or 20 years old, they will obtain work permit and they can work here from the day one. I think it's amazing too. And on another hand, you don't need to show a big salary. You don't need to show that you have 3,500 for each family member. No, you need to show that you have 2,763 euro per month for the main applicant. And then you need to show additionally 75% for the spouse and then 25% for the kids. So, of course, I like another strong point that you can apply from Spain. So for example, you can come here with 90 days period if you are from US or from Canada, for example, and you can come here with Schengen visa. And you can apply even if you have 1 day or 2 days of your visa, you can modify, let's say, your touristic visa to the long-term nomad visa here in Spain, and you can obtain it only in 20 days. So it's really fast. Faster only Greece. In Greece, they are checking the documents during 10 days, and in Spain, they are checking the documents during 20 days, but they are given visa for 3 years. So I think it's really fast, and a lot of people, they don't know that actually Spain is faster than they think, and Spain is more digital than they think, because the biggest difference with the Portugal that you can apply your documents totally online, because in Portugal you need to go to the appointment, you need to apply, you need to wait for this appointment, you will lose time, and you don't know, maybe during this time you will lose your work because you're kind of in the gap without the documents. What I like about Spain, like during your vacations, during 20 days, you can already obtain the new residency in Europe, and it's really fast and it's totally digital. So in any days when you decide, yesterday you can gather all your documents, and today you can apply totally online your documents with the help of your lawyer. And another strong point for Spain, that you can apply for permission of Beckham Law, and you can pay only 24%, like really flat tax rate every month, not more, not less. So maybe if your salary $500,000 per year, you still will pay only this 24%, and you will not go by progressive scale as everybody do. So actually it's really amazing too. And another point, that you can apply in 5 years for permanent residency, and then in 10 years you can apply for nationality, you can apply for Spanish citizenship. And for example, if your kid will be born here in Spain, in 1 year you can apply for Spanish citizenship for him or for her. So of course, that's why with all this point, Spain is on the first place. So let's summarize. On the first place, we have Spain because of the low requirements and the fast tracks of obtaining the visa. Then we have Croatia because of the tax-free 18 months. Then, of course, we have Bulgaria because for newcomers, it's only 10% tax you need to pay. Because it's really important when you are moving to live in another country, you need to check taxes, you need to check requirements, and you need to check like your future. Of course, you will obtain visa today, but how you can prolong your visa, how you can stay, because of course a lot of countries, when you're moving there, you kind of in 2 days, oof, I think I want to live here more than 1 year. And another point that I just want to remind you, if you want to move as a digital nomad visa to live abroad, of course, guys, you need to be aware what documents you need, because I just create for you kind of universal package of the document that actually 90% of the countries, they're asking this. Okay, so first of all, of course, you need to have passport valid 12 plus months. Then, of course, you need to have criminal record certificate with apostille. Then you need to have health insurance, 30,000 euros plus coverage. Then, of course, you need to confirm that you have remote work. So you need to show contracts, you need to show employer letters, you need to show pay slips. And of course, you need to show your bank statements for last 3 or 6 months, because you need to prove that, yes, it's true, you're working there, you're having this money coming to your bank account every month. And of course, in some countries, you need to prove that you have experience or you have education. So you need to kind of prove that you have this exact high qualification, this exact profession where you're working now remotely. So, of course, if we will speak about trends for 2025, guys, first of all, as I already said, countries will compete for digital nomads, and I think every day more and more countries will add to the list with digital nomad visas. Okay, so today 73 countries, but I'm sure that in 5 years it will be kind of 19 countries that will give this possibility. Another point, a lot of countries, they are now fighting for tax advantages, because they're feeling that a lot of digital nomads, they are choosing by the taxes. No, so that's why a lot of countries, they're saying, hey, I don't have taxes, hey, I have flat rate. No, so I see that the fight is there. And on another point, I see that a lot of countries, they are giving family programs, because of course a lot of digital nomad, they don't want to kind of move without the family. So mostly all the countries, they're saying, okay, you can come with your family too. And of course, it's really interesting that mostly all the countries, they're asking for the same salary, like from 3 to 4 to 5,000 euro per month. So I think you can start to think about digital nomad visa in some country abroad if you have salary at least 3,000 euro. And then you can check, maybe in this exact country where you want to move, you can show salary plus your savings. Because, for example, in Spain, a lot of people, they don't know that even if you have salary 2,000, if you have salary 1,500, you still can obtain digital nomad visa if you have savings. And a lot of people, they're kind of stressed about, if I will lose my job during 2 years or during 3 years. Yeah, but in a lot of countries, even if you will lose your job, you can actually search for the work locally, or you can switch to another employer, or you can show savings for prolongation of the visa. So there are a lot of details inside of this question. So guys, if you want to dive in more in the details and you want to obtain this type of visa in Spain, please contact me. Here below you will have the link to my consultation, and we can talk personally if this visa is really suitable for you. And I have another surprise for you guys. You can, here below, open the link to my Dream Visa calculator. We have amazing technology to count your chances to obtain digital nomad visa. So what you need to do, just to click link below, just to fill the form, and then on your email you will obtain the percentage. Like your digital nomad visa, it's good for you for 87%, and this is how you can actually make your chances higher. So we will not only give you the suggestion of the best visa for you, we will give you suggestion how to make your chances higher, how you can apply, how you can obtain this visa, and what we can do for you. So guys, I think now this can be like your best activity for this evening. Just check this link and just check your chances for the digital nomad visa in Spain. I think that till the end of 2025, a lot of countries will make actually the easier requirements of obtaining digital nomad visa. New countries will come to the list, for example, Japan and Philippines. And I think a lot of countries, they will prolong the amount of years that you can stay in the country. So guys, you can find me in Instagram, in TikTok, in Facebook, and of course here. So I will put all the links below. And of course, if you need any help with moving moving to Spain, you need to contact my company DreamLife, and we will help you with all the steps on your way to your dream life. See you in the next video. See you soon. Bye bye.